let's come to your business, the classic home cinema. For the global, mainly British, of course, film collecting community, you are a very important contact point. What do you offer at Classic Home Cinema?
We offer a very large collection of films on a listing that we update regularly. Obviously, the website contains about 2,000 films that we are offering for sale, and with you looking around the shop today, you'll see about many again that aren't even listed. So we've got a very, very large collection, and I know that anybody who comes to this shop leaves it quite amazed at what they've seen. So it's a unique experience. Mm-hmm. I also like to be able to offer any number of supported or supportive items for the film collector, be it film cement, joining tape, joining machines, lenses, lens mounts, gearing. I have manufactured a lot of things to try and help in this direction. And I think that's very important, that we support the lads being able to keep their machines maintained or mount their lenses and so on. So it's not just about selling film, it's about supporting a hobby in various ways. And we do that.
Mm-hmm. And you also have sell projectors, don't you?
Yes.
And which of these areas is the one with the highest turnover? The spare parts, the projectors, or the film?
The biggest turnover is on Super 8 film. Even though my catalogue consists of about 50-50 between Super 8 and 16mm, far more people collect Super 8 worldwide, I think.
So you said you have a huge number of films in your archive for selling. Where do these prints come from?
Well, we literally travel the world to get them. Most in the UK, we have a website and people contact us from that website saying, I've got some films to sell. And sadly, often it's when Granddad's passed away or something like that. But we try and do that tastefully and go along and try and help them out and offer the best price we can. We obviously know what things are worth, but I think that we do a lot of searching all over the world as well. I've visited America on several occasions and picked up film collections in America. The last one I went to was near Boston, and we put 1.5 tons of film onto pallets and had it shipped over to England at tremendous cost. It filmed my garage at home. We had to put it there for about a month or two until we got through it all and matched up prints with this and that. But we go along and we provide that service, really, all over.
So when you buy new films, what is your criteria for the selling price at the end?
Well, obviously, having done this job since 1988, I know how much I think they're worth. And so I sell them at a margin that I am happy to mark it up to. I don't generally sell an expensive print on rarity or anything like that. If I've paid an amount for it, I add a margin difference. I mean, when it's all been checked and so on. And that's my price. So sometimes we have some really good bargains because I got them reasonably good. I think at a really good price. And so I don't ever generally sell at high prices that I might see stuff that is advertised elsewhere. I try and keep the prices down because I think that's important for the hobby, not to overprice the product.
And how has the price for Super 8 prints in the UK changed over the last few years?
In the last few years, some films have gone up tremendously high. and that is due entirely, in my opinion, to eBay, which is a bidding system. So if two people want a print and they're determined to have it, they bid it up high, and the price is tremendous sometimes. I can't believe the prices I see. Sadly, the sellers see these prices and seem to think I should give that price to them for when they're selling it. And I have to explain, I'm sorry, but that's a bidding price. I can offer you a price here and now, which is a reasonable rate. And I try to be fair, but I think eBay has got a lot to do with high prices.
What would you say are the most popular and sought after titles on Super 8 at the moment?
Disney features, and some of the later feature releases, or even short releases as well from Duran before they closed down. They were very popular titles, and because they were very popular at that time, they released a lot in batches of quite a few numbers. So some of the titles didn't get great big sales because they were effectively replaced by the next top title. So the print runs were limited. That was probably the studios letting them have the rights for just a cost per print, you know. So you do 20 prints and not get round to doing another 20 because you got another 20 prints of a different title to do. So those later titles tend to fetch the premium prices.
How many customers do come to your shop directly?
Not enough. If you're coming to see me in my shop, we're on the east coast of England, and you're either coming here or you're not passing through, and that restricts the number of people that would come. I think if I was located in the centre of England, I'd get far more custom through the door than I do now. Having said that, some people are wise enough to make the trip and see what you've seen today. But it's sometimes frustrating trying to get people to come along and have a look and see what you've seen, because I certainly, when I was just a collector and not a dealer, I would travel the whole country literally to buy one print. And collectors nowadays, some of them I feel just want it serving up on a tray and say, there you are, there's this top print. They're not prepared to go and look for it. If they want to come here, they can look for it and probably find it.
So what percentage of your customers who order online or by phone are from the UK?
About 90% are UK bound, yes.
Mm-hmm. And has Brexit had an impact on your business?
Yes, it has, detrimentally, because exports to Europe used to be very easy and didn't attract VAT problems which they now attract. So if I sell a film for £100 to France or Germany, when it arrives there, the buyer is going to have to pay the VAT on it, which and I have to fill a form in, which is far more complicated than sending it to somewhere like America. It's a similar form, but far more complicated to Europe, even though it's only going 100 miles away.
Mm-hmm. And how has the development of the internet affected your film sales?
I think it has affected me in some ways, in that it's not really cost effective to send a printed film list out. It costs me far too much money compared with the rate of people who respond to it. So it's far easier using the internet to send a list out or put it on the website and so on than sending the individual letters, because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, that's an advantage for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, and you can address the whole world at the end.
Yeah.
So what's the most distant customer you have from here?
I've got customers in Japan, in Brazil, Australia, so I don't think New Zealand, yeah. So we've got quite a few.
You're producing a magazine, the Film Collector magazine, which has 3 issues per year.
Yeah.
And it can be, from my point of view, described as the mouthpiece of the British film collecting scene. When was the first issue published?
Well, we're on issue 36. So 12 years ago we started it. It's 3 a year. So it's 12 or 13 years it's been going.
And what is the mission you are fulfilling with that?
It is to keep people interested in the hobby, to give them a voice, and hopefully what I've been trying to do is tell them about the hobby and what's available. I think a lot of people don't realise what's out there on film, and certainly I've spent a lot of time putting articles together about film titles or groups of titles which are around and where they were available from, which you can go and look for then.
And where are your readers located? Also in Japan and Australia?
Oh yes, yeah, Japan and Australia, yeah. Certainly we sell the magazine to them as well.
But also Europe and...
Oh yes, all over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
How do you find the new topics you're presenting?
It's always difficult because I try to get people involved and send me a picture of their home cinema, their own cinema experiences, or even just the racks of their films. They're very reluctant to do that. But I have had some wonderful bits and pieces sent in. But times change. Every week something else becomes more topical. So we try and keep up and produce articles on certain subjects. For instance, this year we've seen 100 years of Disney. So we're going to have to do something about the Disney prints that are around for the next issue. But otherwise I probably wouldn't consider doing Disney except at Christmas, you know. But it's got to be a special for that, and we celebrate other things like that come along quite regularly, and often it will pick it up off the news that so-and-so film's been made, and it's been made by so-and-so, so we will cover that as an article, and we've got a good group of writers who help me a lot.
And what is the biggest challenge you have to face for keeping the magazine going?
It's input from the subscribers that really they need to kick up the backside. They'll all keep seeing me at the events and say, "Oh, I've got that article for you, Phil." You know, it never materialises. They need to make it better by taking part. The fun of film collecting is to share the hobby with other people, and by doing that through the magazine, you're getting halfway there.
Nice.